Howdy, y'all, and welcome to the EEARSS Podcast produced by Terrier Tv. This is episode number 38 of season 2 of the EEARSS Podcast.
Wow.
Bill, Cindy, this is flipping awesome.
Amazing.
Yeah, EEARSS Podcast produced by Terrier Tv, because you can't not mention Terrier TV and everything that's going on in Terrier TV, because it's amazing. We wouldn't be able to do it without them.
Oh, absolutely.
Yep. So, yeah, episode 38 of season 2. Man, what a journey it's been, hasn't it, buddy?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's crazy.
It's there have been so many things going on. Holy moly, it's a lot of blessings. We got started talking about pantyhose Easter eggs a minute ago. I don't know where that went. I'm not sure where that came from. Maybe Easter just going by for some reason that was in my mind.
Maybe that was it.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I will tell you, a very monumental event has happened in my life. My van died. It blew up.
Oh, it's done for
It's
good.
done.
Man, that van was that was an icon van.
This is a van that I've had since 2006, and I put over 300,000 miles on it. It's been in every state in the lower 48, plus Canada.
And you camped in it and everything.
Oh yeah, camped in it. Had a bed in the back in the summer. I lived in the thing, and took all my kids everywhere. It's the end of an era. It's gone.
Wow. So what's now?
So
what are you doing right now?
Well, right now I'm borrowing my mom's car.
Okay.
And I'm driving, but I just put in I got an order in for a new car. Never had a new car in my life.
What flavor?
I got a Honda.
Okay.
And so
Honda.
The HRV.
HRV. There are always something that it's always CRV, HRV, WRV, all kinds of stuff. I wonder what that even means. Recreational video.
Well, this one. Well, it's an SUV kind of vehicle, but it's built on the Civic chassis kind of thing.
Okay.
Or engine train or whatever.
I would say when I think of Civics, I think of the kids that put the giant mufflers on them.
No. Yeah. Well, there you go. Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
Well,
Is that how you're gonna roll with yours?
Cindy,
you're gonna drop
has
yours.
A Civic, and
Does
maybe that's what she's.
I'm feeling inspired now. Maybe I need a giant
Yeah,
muffler.
you should.
Yeah, you guys are both gonna drop your Civics and like put the old school blackout lights underneath them and
That's right.
big giant mufflers.
Yeah, the lights.
You think you're joking, but you're giving me ideas.
That's right. And get the spinner hubcaps and all that.
Yeah. Well, are the spinners still in?
I don't think the spinners are in anymore. I think that would date us.
You could probably go to the junkyard right now and pick up a set of spinners for like $20.
Oh, you probably could avoid back in the day too.
Yeah, that is true. Probably could. To the right junkyard.
I don't remember them being made very, very well.
And I don't know if that's something you go to Corno's right now and pick up or not.
Don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Cocoa Auto Salvage? I'm not sure.
Maybe.
Yeah, who knows? To those who know junkyards, they'll know what we're talking about.
Oh yeah.
Yep. All right, so you guys ready to jump into this?
Yeah, I'm
Cindy,
ready.
are you mentally prepared?
As much as I ever am. I don't even know how to answer that, Frank.
Oh yeah. Well, Cindy, if anybody can be mentally prepared for something, Cindy, it's you. So, Cindy's going in superhero mode like 24/7. So it is what
Absolutely.
it is. Yeah. And she'll always be like, Frank, you're making things up, but we 100% know it's true.
And the thing is, phone booths don't exist anymore. So
how does she
change into her costume?
She doesn't change. She wears it all the time.
She wears it all the time. There you go.
It's always on.
That's a good one.
It's always on. But
I can never live up to how much you oversell me.
It is. If it was an oversell, Cindy, I'd claim it was, but it's not. So I'm gonna say it's good and just roll with it.
There we go.
All right. So today on the podcast, we are joined by a lady who's been. Her and her wife have been a super big blessing to me and their organization. We are joined on today's podcast by Amy Elkavich. Did I butcher it?
No, you got
it. Okay,
you got it.
With Hello Again Books and Cocoa Village. How's it going, Amy? How you doing?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me. This is an honor.
This is great. This has been something we've been talking about doing for a long time.
Yep.
And I finally got you on here, so I feel honored to have you here.
Oh, geez. Thanks.
So tell us a little bit about your business, what you guys do, and where you're located, all that good stuff.
Right.
What got you started? Tell us all the things.
All the things. That's actually one of my favorite quotes from an Allie Robb book, but we'll get to that later. All the things. So we're a new and used bookstore and gift shop for literary gifts in Cocoa Village, Cocoa, Florida. Different from Cocoa Beach. That's a kind of a thing. So I will mention that. And we how did we come about? We we really were looking for community, and we were trying to think of what we could do in our spare time that would give back and provide us with a place to meet people and kind of feed our brains, sort of. And it turned into this bookstore idea, which then evolved into like a safe space for everyone, and a place where we highlighted women and highlighted minorities and just highlighted the LGBTQ community, which we're part of, and provide that safe space where we could do fun events.
Yeah, everybody knows about you guys, I've noticed, and I've never heard a single negative thing about you guys. Everybody speaks super highly of you, what you all are up to, what you're doing.
Sweet.
So you were telling me a little bit before we started what you do for a living outside of a bookstore.
Right.
So fill us in on that for a second.
Sure.
Because I'd love to understand how you went from that to the idea of a bookstore.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, both Mary Beth and I had full-time jobs when we started dreaming this up. So she was managing a health and vitamin store in Brevard County, and I was, and she's here. I was and still am working for the ISS National Lab. That's basically the organization that was mandated by Congress.
That's got to be a heck of a commute.
It really is. I mean, we have a satellite office. That's a pun. In Melbourne, and like Sentry offices. I do the marketing and communications there. We have
That's
a nice
incredible.
team, so I work on that team with a bunch of great people. It's a wonderful place.
So at what point did you guys sit down and go, you know what? A bookstore. A bookstore's the thing. Let's do that. Let's do a bookstore.
It actually didn't start that way. I'll keep it super brief, but we were going to open a candy store.
A candy store.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we love Cocoa Village, and we just were like, what do they need and what's great for tourists, and what would be easy to implement? And we thought, a candy store would be great. And we probably talked to one too many people about that idea, and someone did it. Right?
No joke,
No
really?
joke.
Was it one of the people you talked to?
Yeah.
Was it somebody you talked to?
Yep.
What?
It's totally cool. Like,
Man,
it's
that's
actually,
messed
it
up.
led us to, after 48 hours of being like, wow, I can't believe that happened. It led us to, we both have a history of working in bookstores. I worked for the Midnight Special, which is kind of like a pretty famous indie bookstore that was in I'm blanking, Santa Monica, California.
Okay.
It's gone now, but it was wonderful. And Mary Beth managed a Barnes and Noble for years. So we both come from that background, and I have a degree in literature, and Mary Beth has a degree in psychology, but has been managing forever all kinds of stores. Like, she managed a GameStop, she managed Bath and Body Works, so she knows how to run a business. She knows everything. She's just an amazing.
She does know everything.
She does.
I would
and
agree.
She's
Yeah.
just, one of those people that doesn't stop from the moment she wakes up until the moment she goes to sleep. So I kind of follow her around. And
There's a plan.
Do what she
One of
tells
those
me to do.
osmosis kind of things. Just
Yeah,
picking it up as you go.
exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. So that's kind of where we were like, okay, the bookstore makes sense. Let's do that. And we spent about a year preparing for that and buying books and figuring out how to do this, and working with a local tattoo artist, Vanessa Harper at Endless Summer Tattoo. She designed our logo, which she's a really cool woman who's super independent and doing her own thing. And we just kept finding people. Once we started on the bookstore path, we met the right people.
So I can't not talk about the logo, because it's an awesome logo.
It's great.
If anybody could ever, if it's okay, so we just have Hello Again books up there.
Yeah.
But the logo. So the first time I looked at it, I saw the Garden of Eden. You know what I mean? It's a person with like a floral arrangement kind of in the background.
Kind of coming out of their head.
Yeah,
Like,
kinda coming
instead
out-
of a
yeah.
head, they have
Okay.
a bouquet of flowers.
And they're holding. Are they holding the coffee cup, or is the coffee cup just there?
They're holding a cup of coffee and a book.
Okay, so they're holding a coffee cup. And Bill, you know where my mind's always at. It usually
In
involves
weird places.
Usually
Very
it-
weird
it-
places.
It is. It usually is in weird
Yep.
places.
We love that.
And usually those weird places involve animals.
You're right.
So I'm looking at this, and there's a shape that's going, in my mind, going into the coffee cup.
Oh.
So
Okay.
I'm looking. It's a squiggly line.
it
It's
does.
going
Now I know where
into the
you're
coffee
going.
cup, and
Okay.
I'm like, that is pretty cool. It's a Garden of Eden kind of thing. There's a snake going into the coffee cup, and literally, I'm standing in the store talking to you and Mary Beth about it. I'm like, yeah, how cool is this? You know, we got snakes in the store, and there's a snake in your logo. And she goes, that's not a snake, Frank. And I said,
it's the steam coming off.
right,
Of the
yeah.
coffee.
I'm like,
I love that though.
I'm like, what in the world?
Mary Beth,
Wow, my
she'll-
mind is blown. I'm like, I could have looked at that for 10 years
Well, yeah.
and never saw that one time.
Well, no, but once
Listening to Frank describe it, I 100% believed him that it was a snake.
I
There you
love
go.
that. And now Mary Beth will never look at our logo the same.
and Cindy's
tells me that
afraid of
every time.
it. Cindy's now afraid of the logo and will not go anywhere near it.
No, it's just it's funny how things, we were talking about colors before the podcast started.
Right.
You know, how two people can look at something, understand what's going on, but there'd be something like fundamental in it going on. You just can't grasp the concept.
Mhm.
But they have done research that men and women see
Mhm.
colors differently.
Yep.
Because I have had arguments with people about the color of something that I'm wearing. And they tell me that it's a different, and I'm like, how can you say that it's green? It's not green. It's blue. And then, yeah, and it's because it's not because anybody's wrong. It's because you see things differently.
Yep, absolutely.
The
Yeah.
man is seeing it wrong, just so you know.
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, that goes
100%.
without saying.
I completely agree.
I love that.
Yeah, I'm fine with saying that.
Sure.
So, since how long have you guys been open now?
Over 3 years.
3 years.
Yeah, actually,
wow.
our third anniversary, we didn't realize it until around 10 p.m. that night.
How awesome is that? So, because you guys originally started out on 520
We did.
and
yeah.
then moved in a year and a half ago.
I think it's been 2 years
Has it
now
been
in
2
that
years already?
location. Mhm.
Wow. So, when you started this business, what are the biggest things you have learned since starting it until now?
That's a great
What are the big
question.
things where you went, man, like I would have never thought that? Like challenges, blessings behind doing a bookstore, things of that nature.
That's a great question. I think the biggest thing we didn't know beforehand that we thought we had a handle on and realized quickly we didn't was what people wanted. We thought we would do a wide variety and provide a ton of genres, but what we realize is that there are some things that just everybody wants all the time. Classics. It makes my heart sing to know that, but we did not expect it. Classics really became
Okay.
a huge draw, and they can be beat up. It doesn't matter. Like everybody wants those classics. So it's kind of fantastic. It's lovely.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So I know you guys do a lot of stuff in the community. You've been a huge blessing to EEARSS and everything we do. You guys you have your book fest, which you just had. You
We
guys are
did.
always doing something and have things going on. So tell us a little bit about the different projects you guys are working on, things you're doing, things you do for the community.
Thank you. Well, first, I just have to say, with you especially, it's been this amazing learning experience and growing experience where I remember the first time we had you, I think we had one person come in
Uh-huh.
and we were like, please talk to him. He's amazing. Like, you need to listen to this guy that I keep calling Rob, whose name is Frank. He's outstanding. He has an alligator with him. He can tell you everything about them. And then as you grew and you created EEARSS.org and you started getting more and more momentum behind what you were doing, we started to also see that people begin to come to our events that involved you, and they adore it. They are so excited to learn about you, learn about your coloring book, learn about your instruction guide, learn about the animals, about EEARSS. It's such a nice matchup. So I just want to acknowledge how much fun that's been to see groups of kids just like flocking to you, but also being super scared of you because of what you're holding. And then the parents are just the same. It's like adult kids. They are just as fascinated and just as scared. And on a personal level, I love to get Mary Beth near your animals because it drives her crazy. But yeah, so we do events with all kinds of individuals who are offering things or wanting to teach the community something or share their stories with them. The book festival is a big one. We just did that for the second year, like helping out the village, the historic Cocoa Village Association. I'm on the board there. And that's just a really nice pairing to bring local authors in and just kind of bring that literary experience throughout the village. So we're going to keep working on that. And then another thing that we have is our Be the Rainbow event. This is going to be our 3rd year doing that, and that's about celebrating diversity in our community. This year we're going to expand it a little bit. It's usually one day. This year it's going to be 3 kind of separate days, and we're going to do a show tune sing-along and have kind of a sparkle and sway dance, and then have our full, yeah, it'll be fun. And then we'll have our full day of events on June 10th. So we're really looking forward to that. And then the next thing we're doing is we've decided to start a nonprofit organization.
Awesome. I know we talked about that for a
Yeah.
quick second one time. You guys are pulling the trigger.
We have filed and have gotten approved for our first like, getting your EIN number and all that.
Yeah.
So now we're moving on to get our 501c3 status. And this is it's going to be called BeTheRainbow.org, Be the Rainbow
Awesome.
Florida. And that's basically going to expand to help make this Be the Rainbow event a little bit bigger. And then ideally in 5 years, we'd like to have a LGBTQ center that provides support services here in Brevard County.
That's
I
amazing.
tell you how much that is needed. I work
Yeah.
for a nonprofit locally that provides services to victims of crime. And the LGBT community, especially in Brevard, there is so little available
Yeah.
that is targeted towards them that really gives the message we are a safe
Yeah. Yeah.
judge. You'll be welcome.
Thank you for that. We see it all day, every day. So now we have this reputation where we are kind of known as a LGBTQ plus safe space. We're a queer space where people can come in and just be themselves. You can be an ally. We love having allies come in. We welcome everyone. So what we're seeing and what we've seen more and more as time goes by, we have parents come in and they're a little nervous, but they, pull it together and start talking about their children and how they're not sure how to approach their kids about things, and they know their kids are maybe, they're bisexual or they're on the spectrum or they're non-binary, and this is sort of something that they don't understand. And to be honest, we don't even understand everything when it comes down to this, but we want to provide them those services. So we connect them with PFLAG, or we connect them with a healthcare service that we know is open to accepting those kinds of patients who just identify differently, and it's all accepted. Like, that's something that we just want to be that space to let people talk about their concerns and help them find the right place to go. So that naturally leads to doing this kind of center.
And as we were talking about with our past guest, sometimes the nicest thing you can do for somebody is give them a smile and be
Yeah.
kind to them. And
Yep.
there's not enough of that stuff going on in our world, and
There
you guys
really
are
isn't.
sharing tons of that. It's kind of what we're all about too. It's so easy to be negative. I don't know why people go that way sometimes. I really don't quite get
Sometimes
it.
it's the easiest thing. It's the route.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense to me.
No.
Kindness is not hard.
It really
know what I mean?
isn't.
No, it isn't. It does take a little bit of thought. I mean, you have
Mhm.
to. I think there's.
You're right. It's thoughtfulness too. It
Yeah,
is
it's-
thoughtfulness.
you gotta
Kindness and thoughtfulness to
about
go
it.
together.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's just kind of cool to have a parent come in and just ask for a hug and
That's got to be
wanna
amazing.
talk about
That's
their
gotta be amazing.
lives, and it is amazing. I
Oh,
mean,
and to be able to support them
it's
and yeah.
outstanding. I
And
mean,
do that in a bookstore? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's even more jam up.
It's pretty great. I mean, that's why we have a sofa.
Yeah.
There you
You know
go.
that.
Okay.
and
It is
chair.
a very,
I mean,
very comfortable store. Of any store you could walk into, it is probably the most comfortable
Yeah.
store you could walk into, without a doubt.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Yep. It's you guys have put together something very special there. Yep.
I think Mary Beth is just a huge integral part of that, and she's there day in, day out now, which is it's great. But I'm kind of there on the weekends and once in a while in the evenings, and we do also offer book clubs, which I run those, and or I run one of them. We have our general book club,
Okay.
which we kind of pick as a group, and then we have like a dirty book club.
Yo,
I have
Lord.
heard amazing things about that, by the way.
They're a great group. So that book club is on the third Wednesday of every month. The Smut Book Club, that's kind of what we call it, Smut. And then our general one is on the last Wednesday of every month, 6:30 to 8 for both of those. And anybody can come.
Yeah. My friend Ernie and his wife Heather introduced me to you guys in the very beginning. So I want to give definitely a shout out to Ernie and Heather and tell them thank you. I tell them that quite a bit. I see Ernie pretty close to every day, and I'm always like, "Yep, that was an awesome connection."
Yeah, they're a great example of some of the customers that have become like family to us. Heather is one of the founders of the Smut Book Club. I hope she's okay with me saying that.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, we have dozens of customers that we're on a first name basis with, and that want to come in and share their lives with us, and just they're part of the bookstore. People become part of the bookstore, and that community we wanted when we were dreaming about how we could get involved. We have it in spades. Like, we just have met so many wonderful people. It's amazing.
That's great.
Yeah.
So I gave you a little bit of homework.
You did.
Let's jump into the homework.
Okay, let me open up my
Cindy,
file here.
you're on, Cindy.
I know, I've been on a losing streak. I need to redeem myself.
Okay. All right, this is your chance.
Oh, so I can say this right now real quick.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like in June, EEARSS is going to start doing trivia at La Maramba on Wednesday evenings. Yep. So after I get done here, I'll go over there and I'll host trivia from like 7 o'clock and 9 o'clock.
Oh, very cool.
So yeah, should be fun.
I could deal with some trivia. All right, here we go. Question 1. What German word means a novel that focuses on the psychological and personal growth of the protagonist from youth to adulthood?
Okay, I'm not sure what 3 of those words meant. No, I'm just joking.
You want me to read again?
No. Cindy, you have any ideas?
It's a German word.
I have no idea, and I'm so disappointed.
All right, I'm going to tell you.
I feel like I should know this.
Bill, you have any guesses?
No, I don't.
It's going to be something very. Is it a normal used word?
No, not really.
Oh, okay. Then I have no idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought pretty hard.
I thought I had an idea, but then I lost it.
So it's Bildungsroman. And it's basically examples of this include Jane Eyre, Siddhartha, Catcher in the Rye, Harry Potter, Twilight. And this story has like 4 basic parts: loss, journey, personal growth through conflict, and maturity. So you've read some of these, I'm sure. And it's called a Bildungsroman. It's a type of novel.
Oh,
yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. All right, question 2.
That was good. Yeah,
did not know that.
That one
I'm
got
worried
me.
Maybe I went too deep on these, but I'm going to do it.
We're not as smart as you thought.
No, I made them hard.
That's your thing, yeah. I didn't realize they were idiots.
Oh my God.
Should have made it a little bit easier.
Oh my gosh. No, I'm going to worry about the rest of these. Okay.
No.
What is considered, this one's really hard too. What is considered the first book to be banned in the United States?
Ooh.
So, I mean, and actually, I think it happened, pretty early. We might have not have been in the United States.
Oh. First book banned.
Was it? Maybe it was. Was it some type of Bible?
No, I'm thinking.
Oh,
maybe was it?
No. But I like that.
I'm thinking like the Scarlet Letter kind of thing.
No, but that's a
Cindy?
good guess.
Cindy, come on, save us.
Oh no, there are so many books that we're banning left and right that I.
But this
I
is the
don't know.
first
This
one.
was early
the
on, like the start
first,
of our
yeah.
country.
All right.
The start of our country.
Yeah, the beginning. First book banned.
Yeah.
It had to be something involving feminism.
I love that. That's
Oh, there you go. Okay.
That's great.
Some woman they wanted to silence.
Mm-hmm. I know. You'd think that, right? I'm sure there are a lot of those. But this one is published in 1637, Thomas Morton's New English Canaan, which offered a pretty harsh critique of Puritan customs and power structures. So the New English settlers just couldn't deal with it, and they banned it. So that was the first book. And since then, there have been all kinds. I think the other one probably worth highlighting is Ulysses. That was banned in 1922. That's a novel by Irish novelist James Joyce. And in 1933, it was contested. And that one actually led people to question what is art. And that became, because of a court case, it was basically distinguished as actual literature. And from there on out, that was the new phase of how we look at books.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It set the precedent.
It did. It's weird because the judge that reviewed that first case, he said, I wish I wrote it down. I don't know if I did. Oh, he said that Ulysses was a work of a disordered mind. I was like, wow, that's crazy.
There we go.
Yeah,
Wow.
I know.
Disordered mind. I don't think I've ever heard that term before.
I don't think I have either. Have you
Disordered
read
mind.
Ulysses? I've tried several times. It is difficult.
Huh.
I might have to start a book club just to get through it.
Just is it a super big book?
It's not a super big book, but it's written like first person from 3 characters' perspectives, and it's kind of, consciousness
intertwined.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yep. So that's something I'd really like to read. All right, this one's kind of fun. Who was the first fictitious character to have an obituary published in the New York Times and I believe in the London Times? So a character from fiction that actually had an obituary published in the paper.
It'd have been somebody like Superman, somebody big, I'm guessing.
Good guess.
Oh,
Somebody that was, it would have to be somebody known worldwide
right.
Mm-hmm.
to be on both sides.
Yeah. Okay, Cindy, save us.
I don't know.
This is a good one. Hercule Poirot. Agatha Christie's Hercule Poirot. So he's like,
Really?
yes, he's like that Belgian detective that everyone mistakes as a French detective, and he gets really irritated about it. But he was in over 40 books of hers, and she actually became really annoyed with him and his character, but ended up having to continue writing it because everyone loved it so much.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Wow.
I know.
You were
Can you
pitching a
imagine the
shutout.
satisfaction she got when she finally got to kill him off?
I'm sure she was thrilled.
Like, yes.
So like, take that.
Right. It's funny. And when I was looking this up, because I knew about this, because I'm a huge Agatha Christie fan, I knew about this one, but when I was confirming that he was the only one, he wasn't. He wasn't the only fake character. So there was one other one, and it was Walter White from Breaking Bad.
Oh.
What?
I think is that Brandon?
Okay.
I can't tell.
Yeah,
'cause
it's
he's wearing
Brandon.
a mask. but
Yeah,
he
he's
seems-
wearing a mask.
He
He
seems
doesn't
pretty
want to
psyched
be-
about that.
He doesn't
What
want to
does
be
he do?
recognized.
It's like the 15th mask he's pulled out in like the
He's
past 2
got
minutes.
an assortment.
Do you like
and
have a whole
he's-
bag full of
he's
masks, buddy?
gonna show them all to us before the show's over.
Oh
That's
my
pretty funny.
garage.
Okay. All right. Next one is so April is Poetry Month. So that's like a month to celebrate great poetry and poets out there. So what book of children's poetry was banned because it was thought to just be inappropriate and promote disrespect for truth and authority?
Oh, children's
was recently?
poetry.
This was, I'll just say, we've all probably read some of this poetry.
We ain't talking Dr. Seuss stuff, are we?
We're not.
Okay.
So I'm going to
Okay.
take that one off the table.
There we
Was
go.
it a Shel Silverstein?
Yes, you got it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes, it was Where the Sidewalk Ends.
Where the sidewalk
Oh.
ends.
Mhm.
That got banned?
Yeah, in 1986, a Milwaukee school district banned it because critics claimed it, they thought it promoted drug use, mentions of death, and
We read that all through
ultimately
school.
disrespect.
Yeah.
So actually, since then, it looked like it came off the table. But then as I was digging around, it looks like Wisconsin banned it last year. A school district in Wisconsin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we read
So-
that all through school.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, every moment, dare to say, it even got mentioned in high school a few times.
Mm,
Huh. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. It was in literature class all the time
Yeah.
Mhm.
of some sort.
Yep.
That's a weird one.
It's a weird one. So
Yeah.
Cindy's got a point now.
Cindy does have a point.
She
Mhm.
does.
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations.
Yep.
All right, we got one more.
All right, this is the last one, and you kind of have a leg up if you've been in the store.
Okay.
But you might be able to get it.
Okay.
It's a snake coming out of a coffee cup.
Exactly.
Going into the coffee cup. Going
Right.
into the coffee cup.
Exactly. So we have a quote from a famous living author posted at the register at Hello Again Books. And the quote is, "A town isn't a town without a bookstore." What author said this quote?
I've looked right at it.
Hmm.
I've looked right at it.
His
I
name is
remember reading
right
it.
below the quote.
Yep, I remember reading it this weekend, but I
Mhm.
don't remember who it was.
Do you want to take a stab
Living author.
at it? Hmm. He's
Uh,
amazing. It's a he.
There we go.
Cindy, is
Okay.
this helping at all?
This is not.
Okay.
All right, so here we go. It's
Okay.
Neil Gaiman.
I say Cindy's
Um,
like, I don't need a point anyhow. I'm
yeah.
already, I'm already
She already
winning.
won.
Yeah.
She
Yeah,
already
she already won.
It was
So,
my
The
one
best we
only
could do
point.
is tie.
Yeah.
so Neil Gaiman is he's a Hello Again Books favorite author, and we actually had not one but two of our monthly book club meetings about his book, The Graveyard Book. This is a really sweet, imaginative story about a boy who grows up in a graveyard and is raised by spooky residents. It's filled with like lessons of love, loss, facing bullies, being true to yourself. It's just a gorgeous book. I adore it. And we're not the only people who think so. It won both the Newbery Medal for children's distinguished work in children's literature, but it also won the UK equivalent, which is called the Carnegie Medal. So I just want to definitely say this, Mr. Gaiman, Neil, if you're listening, we can't wait to host you at Hello Again Books.
Jam up.
Ooh, I love that plug. I love that.
That was good.
Willing that to happen.
You got to put it out there, you know?
It never happens if you don't put it out there, without a doubt.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you
This has been a blast. Again, if people want to go find you guys, Hello Again Books is where?
It's at 411 Brevard Avenue. Website is helloagainbooks.com. We're on Instagram and Facebook, Hello Again Books, so you can reach out to us anytime.
I say, find my stuff, you'll find their stuff pretty easy, and we'll make sure you're tagged in all this stuff too. But
thanks so much.
Thank you for all you guys do for the community. Thank you for all you do for so many people, and thank you for being a huge blessing to us too, and all we do.
Thank you for having me. This has been a treat. Thank you.
Really appreciate you.
Thanks for everything.
So we want to give a quick thank you to Edna Wilson with Celebrate Remax Aerospace for sponsoring our program. Edna and her team love Titusville and the Space Coast. They're dedicated to helping their town thrive. They know buying or selling a home is a really big deal. They promise, that's a legit promise, I mean, the word is wrote down there, to help you make your homeownership dreams come true. Visit ednawilson.com. Thank you for your sponsorship, Miss Edna. We really appreciate you. Bill, anything crazy going the rest of the week?
No, sir. No, I'm plumb out of crazy.
Edna told me she had something going on.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was supposed to know.
And you were supposed to know. And
I'm
you
like,
probably
wait a
should say something about it. So
Edna, you have something
trying.
going on, and I forget what it was. So I'm sorry.
Uh-oh.
I'm sorry.
Edna,
I feel bad about
Edna,
that.
you got to make him write this stuff down.
Oh, my garage. Yeah, I feel bad. Anyhow, let's end this program. Thank you again, Amy. Thank you for being here. Hello Again Books, Cocoa Village. Don't forget about it. Go down there and say howdy to them. We'll catch you all next week. Bye-bye.